What's up, YouTube? It's me back doing another video. Today I just wanted to come and talk about depression. Something like irritated my spirit. Um, and I had actually made a post about this on my Facebook talking about depression. But a lot of people think they say ignorant things like, well, depression isn't real. Um, Depression is only for the weak-minded. I'm too strong for that. Or then they have this thing where it's clinical depression versus depression. I mean, I don't really get into that. I don't really think it's a difference. I feel like depression is depression. And the only difference with depression is the type of things that causes it. Some people have traumatic things happen. Some people get it from having a loss of a family member. You know, illness, just different things that causes them to be depressed. But as far as clinical depression versus depression, I don't really get into that. And like I said, like I described on my Facebook page, I was just like, I've dealt with being severely depressed and suicidal. And the way that I described it was that it's just like the walls are just everything that you're dealing with, everything that caused you pain, that anything. It's just like the walls are just talking to you, like everything is trying to reach out to you and just grab you, and it's just closing in on you, you know? And depression is something hard to get out of because it's just like the more that you try to get out of it, it seems like something will happen and then you're deeper into it, and then it's just like a cycle, like, but the problem is it gets harder and harder to get out of that hole, you know, to the point where you want to give up on life and you just, you don't care. Um and things that don't help depression, but we feel like it does, especially when you're going through depression, is, a coping mechanism, like that we feel like, okay, well, I'm gonna drink my pain away. I'm gonna, you know, do drugs to take my pain away. Um, you know, different things like that. But it's not a proper way of healing or coping because you're pretty much just putting a band aid on it. And then at the end of the day, when you're not around friends and it's just you alone, you're right back in that same space, you know? So I really don't think people should comment on depression if it's something that they never experienced or going through, and you shouldn't judge someone going through it just because you don't understand it. You feel like, oh, their pain is not really pain and it's nothing to be depressed about. But you're not that person. And like I said, different things causes people to have depression. So I really don't like the ignorant comments about that. I really don't. I don't. I feel like people shouldn't even speak on it if they have never experienced it because it's very real, and I don't feel like it makes you weak. It doesn't. You don't have to be weak-minded to have depression. And the people that are commenting are people that I feel like never experienced any type of uh, pain in their life, or if they have, they're trying to hide it. And those are the ones, people that never go through anything, and they have the answers of, oh, everything is all peaches and cream. um just see the positive in everything, and they never been through life, because it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all. You're going to have some things in life that just, you know, leaves you speechless and not knowing what to do, you know. But that's all I wanted to say. I just feel like people that have never experienced things in life, they wouldn't know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? And you know, judging people, like, you don't know what people went through. I'm gonna just share this part with you. Like, it was when I was getting a workup for another kidney transplant. And I had to go to counseling and things like that because of, you know, like I said, I was very depressed and all this stuff. So they wanted to make sure that I was in the right headspace so that I'll be able to take care of myself. So I went to the hospital, had to speak with the social worker, and different things about my life came up, and I explained, things that happened to me as far as like growing up with drug addicts, didn't have a, wasn't really stable. I was here, there, everywhere. Um, I was raped by my father. I've been molested by family members. And I just said, like, for me, I just really didn't care about myself enough, you know? And you can't take care of yourself properly if mentally you're not together. There's no way that you can do it. You can get away with it for a little bit, but after a while, it's going to take its toll on you. You know what I'm saying? So, I explained that and things that, why I felt this way or why I felt that way. And, she looked at me and just said, well, some of it's understandable. Some of it's understandable. And I'm just thinking, like, people will always judge you or talk about you, when you're going through stuff and how you handle stuff and whatever, when you're going through depression and stuff like that. But they're the ones that could never walk in your shoes. They can't even fit them, so it's just crazy to me, you know, that people think that they have life all figured out, they have it all together because they're not experiencing anything at that moment. And I think it's crazy that somebody's going through depression, maybe suicidal. And instead of you trying to do things to build them up and encourage them, you do more to break them. And it's very hard when you're going through depression and you feel like you have nobody. Or if you do tell somebody, they're going to look at you like it's a joke or, get over it. That's the past. You know, I just don't like it. I don't like it because I've been there and I know what it's like to not have anybody and just be all alone. Like I said, I've been through a lot. And it started as a child. Like, being raped by your own father, being molested by family members, just being abused in every aspect to the point where I was empty. You know, you're supposed to have people around you that, mold you for this world. You know, but instead, inside your home is a cold world and you're trying to figure out how to survive. You know what I'm saying? And like when I was going through my depression, I was doing a lot of crazy stuff and, just off the wall. But I was hurting and trying to carry the world on my shoulders. And I couldn't do it. So it was a breaking point for me where I was just reckless. And at that point in time, I really didn't care about myself at all, you know. And things I was doing, I was hoping to die, you know. And people need to realize, like, when people commit suicide and things like that, it's not that they want to die, but, it's not that they want to die, but it's just like the pain that they're carrying around is too much. And they feel like that's the only way to stop the pain because they don't know how to heal. And a lot of people that are broken and have been broken from childhood or different things, they don't know how to properly heal because they don't know how to properly cope with life. Their coping things is, like I said, drugs, drinking, partying, all that. It's just it's just crazy. And I feel like people should just keep their mouth shut if they, like I said, if they never experienced depression or any type of hardships in life, you know, no, they shouldn't speak on it. And it's always the ones that think that they have life all figured out and they got it all together. Those are the main ones that need help. And that's probably their defense mechanism, to act like everything is peaches and cream all the time. It's not realistic. It's not life. It's not life. And then, another thing that's bothersome is just like some people just say I'm depressed just to say I'm depressed. Like, it doesn't sound good. Or, like they need attention or something. Oh, yeah, I'm depressed. I'm so depressed. When you go into depression, you don't do that. You barely want to let somebody know what's going on. You try your best to fake it till you make it. You're not just going around saying, oh my God, I'm so depressed. You're not doing that. I think people need to stop that too. It's just like depression is real and it's a very hard struggle and it's hard to get out of. It's very hard to get out of. And it took me 15 years to get out of it. 15. But once I realized, like, I can't keep, letting my past, like, get in the way like this. You know what I'm saying? Things that happened to me as a child, it was nothing I could do. I was a child. But as I got older and how I reacted to things and, how I did things, it was my job to get that part right. Now I had to do better. I couldn't keep holding on to this, stuff that happened to me as a child. I had to learn how to properly cope, for one, and just forgive. And forgiving, let me tell you, is a hard thing to do when you've experienced everything that I experienced. Because it's just like you want the person to hurt so bad that hurts you. And then it's just like you wait on a sorry. Like you just want them to apologize for everything that they've done. And then it's just like you can't wait on that because you will never get it. That person is moving on with their life like nothing happened. They don't care. But yes, forgiving is a very hard process when you're dealing with depression and you're trying to heal from past things. It's very hard. It's very hard. And I have forgiven to a certain extent, but I'm realizing now that I still have a lot more of forgiving to do. But the main thing is that I'm taking the steps to do it, and I know what I need to do. Um, that's all I wanted to really say. Like, yeah, depression is real, and you don't want to. That's probably why people don't trust people enough when they're dealing with depression. and they tell them, what's bothering them and things, and then the next thing you know, they're being talked about, laughed about. I don't know, but like I said, depression is real. Depression doesn't mean that the person is weak-minded or things like that. We're only human. So, like I said, different things can affect different people in different ways, and they can become depressed. But I just wanted to share that. And for anybody that's dealing with depression, um, and being suicidal, things like that, I just pray that you can be healed. Um, I just pray that you keep fighting, and that you really try to go back and deal with whatever's bothering you. Even though it's not a good place, it's not it's going to be a hard place for you, for whatever has happened to you or whatever. It's necessary. And it's not going to just happen overnight, you know. But, and if you feel like you can't trust anybody, because a lot of times you can't when you are expressing stuff that is very sensitive to you, because people have a way of downplaying things or judging the way you do things. And just take a journal or something and just vent and just write. And if you got to keep doing that whenever you are going through something, just keep doing it. Don't keep holding everything inside and letting it build and build and build, because it's not but so much that you can take, you know. And I'm just saying this because I've been there and I know exactly what it's like, you know, going through depression and just not having anybody. People are so focused on the outside, what they can see as far as your behavior and actions, but they never once take the time to ask you what's going on inside. What's bothering you? What's making you do these things? How can I help? What can I do? But they don't do that. They, like I said, they judge you, um, you know, speak negative things into your life, that you're going to be this way and be that way, you know. Like I said, just try to write down things. And as far as your healing process, even if you're not, at that moment going through like a feelings of rage, sadness, you know, um, just try to like write out some plans as far as how you want to go about it, how you want to heal, what do you want to heal, things that you can change about you, to better you, you know. Depression is hard, man. Depression is hard, and it's a lot of times that my pain had got so bad, I felt so low and worthless, so broken that I didn't want to live, you know. I didn't want to. I just wanted to tap out, you know. So I've been there. Um, but God had other plans for me. And I just thank God that He kept me through all this stuff so that I can share my story and try to help others, because it's hard. It's nothing easy about it. I didn't just wake up one day and say, oh, I forgave and now I'm healed. It was a process. And once I started healing, I started to learn more about me, things that I didn't know before. You know what I'm saying? Because I was so broken. I felt like nothing. And, I'm still learning stuff about me. And, like I said, I just thank God that I lived to, share my stories, share different experiences with people. But Just keep fighting if you're having depression or suicide. Just keep fighting. Just fight with everything that you have. Even if you feel like you have nothing left, use that little bit of strength and keep fighting. You know, you will come out of it. It won't be easy, but you will make it. You know, and don't let other people and things they say get to you. Because, like I said, they can never fit your shoes, let alone walk in them. But, like I said, I'm just going to keep praying for anybody going through stuff like that. Because there's a lot of ignorance in this world when it comes to that. And it's, like I said, they just need to keep their mouth closed, you know. But anyway, thank you for looking at the video. And maybe I'll come back tomorrow and talk about another topic. Depends on how I feel, but right now I'm doing a little better. So, that's it. Bye, y'all.